Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to start about the blood circulatory system in human being, that is the closed blood circulation. In the previous video we have studied about the open blood circulation, type of need of blood circulatory system, what are the things it is transported by the body, what are the components of the closed blood circulation or open blood circulation. Then we have studied that the structure of heart, the components of the heart, what it is made up of, how many chambers are there, what type of walls are there. We have studied about blood, what type of components it is made up of, the plasma and the blood corpuscles, what type of corpuscles are there, what are the differences in the corpuscles. Again, that we have studied. And here we also studied about the blood vessels, the three type of blood vessels, that is the arteries, veins and the capillaries and their differences. Then we have studied about the type of circulation, the open and closed blood circulation. Open blood circulation, which is found in the lower organisms except in annelida, and the closed blood circulation, which is found in all the higher organisms plus annelids. Okay. And then closed blood circulation again is of two types, the single blood circulation and double circulation, that we have studied. We have also studied the circulation in fish. Let us now take a broader view here in the blood circulation. The movement of blood in the body is called blood circulation, because that same blood is again and again taking a circular path returning back to the heart. There are two kinds of circulation found in the living beings, that is the open blood circulation and closed blood circulation. In the open blood circulation, the blood, after being pumped from the heart, it flows all over the body. It goes between the tissues, okay? And it is found only in the lower organisms, lower invertebrate. Closed blood circulation is divisible into two types, that is the single blood circulation and double blood circulation. Single blood circulation, as we have studied, found only in fishes, where other vertebrates shows double blood circulation. So in this video our main aim is to study about double blood circulation and then the other factors. So let us see what is double blood circulation. In double blood circulation we have two types of circulations. Rather, we can say that in double blood circulation, in one complete circulation, blood passes from heart two times. From all over the body, deoxygenated blood is collected, opens into heart. That is called systemic circulation. From heart it goes to the lungs for oxygenation and return back to the heart is called pulmonary circulation. So systemic circulation, that is oxygenated blood from the heart goes to all over the body, gives oxygen, picks carbon dioxide and returning back to heart. On the other hand, the pulmonary circulation, in which the deoxygenated blood is going into the lungs, giving its carbon dioxide out, taking the oxygen in and returning back to lungs. So that pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Pulmonary circulation is the one in which the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is carried by the pulmonary artery to the lungs. Okay. After diffusion of gases, that is carbon dioxide is given out, oxygen gets into the blood. The oxygenated blood is brought back to the atrium, left atrium, by pulmonary artery. So summary, if you see pulmonary circulation, how it goes: right ventricle is there, the blood from the right ventricle brought by the pulmonary artery to the lungs, okay, where the deoxygenated blood, blue color में लिखा है, that diffuses carbon dioxide and picks oxygen, turns red, and then brought by the pulmonary vein to left atrium. ठीक है, right ventricle to pulmonary artery, lungs, pulmonary vein to left atrium. This much circulation is called pulmonary circulation. Okay. On the other hand, systemic circulation, the one in which the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle is carried by the aorta, goes to each and every part, distributing its oxygen, picking carbon dioxide. After diffusion of gases, deoxygenated blood is brought back to the right atrium by vena cava. Okay. So देखते हैं systemic circulation. Starting from left ventricle, the blood is carried by the aorta to all the parts, that is the body. In body, oxygen is given, red color, carbon dioxide is picked, blue color. Then by the vena cava, it returns back to right atrium. Okay? Left ventricle to right atrium is systemic circulation. You must know that what arteries is there, what veins are there, what type of blood is there, where it is going, direction and all. Okay? So that is called systemic circulation. Let us see the complete diagram. Okay, this is the heart here. This is the right side, this is the left side. If I stand here, you can see this is my right side and this is my left side. Okay, so this is the right side. Deoxygenated blood from all over the body, that is the carbon dioxide rich blood, is brought to the right atrium to right ventricle. From right ventricle, pulmonary arteries takes it to the oxygen, gives carbon dioxide, picks oxygen, become red in color, opens into left atrium. From left atrium goes to left ventricle, and then by aorta it is distributed to the all over the body. Again deoxygenated blood. So you can see the blood first goes into the right side, then goes to the lung, then comes to the left side, and then goes to body. So in one complete circulation, starting from here, returning back here, is one complete circulation. Blood is passed through heart 2 times, one in either side. Okay? Once it goes to right hand side, then it goes to left hand side. So this is the double blood circulation. Now what is the advantage of double blood circulation? See, the body of higher animals are very efficient and they require constant supply of oxygen because they have to run, they have to jump, they have to save their body, they have to chase their prey and all. So they are continuously in search of food and in mate, and sometimes to save themselves and sometimes to attack on others. Okay? So all these require high supply of oxygen. So advantage क्या है double blood circulation का? In double blood circulation, oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood are completely separated. They are not mixing. It is not that in body the blood will be supplied to left and right hand side. No. In the body they are supplied simultaneously. ठीक है, दोनों साथ साथ ही हो रहे हैं. Both aorta and vena cava are running in the same place. If I see my back, पीछे की साइड में, तो vena cava and the aorta both are running parallel. It is not that one is in left and one is right. One will supply only right hand side, left hand side, and other will supply on left. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It is just for the sake of heart's direction we are studying that way. ठीक है. Otherwise, body में blood, both the oxygenated and deoxygenated bloods, arteries and veins are running simultaneously, parallel to one another. Okay, and capillaries are the junction between these two. So मतलब क्या है? That is the oxygenated blood is flowing in one type of blood vessel, that is the arteries, and the deoxygenated blood is flowing in another type of blood vessel, that is veins, and these two bloods are not mixing. So there is a better supply of oxygen to each and every part of the body, that is tissues and organs. Okay? So that is the advantage. Some of the definitions are there, like what is blood pressure. Now one must remember that is when the heart is pumped. When the heart is pumped, a lot of blood is pumped together. So suppose, just for the sake of understanding, we are taking the diagram of heart like this. Okay, so in that case, suppose these are the two chambers, and here is the tricuspid wall, and here is the bicuspid wall, and here the oxygenated blood coming here. Oxygenated blood यहाँ पर आया. From here it goes to aorta. ठीक है. So at the time of ventricles are pumping, the deoxygenated blood comes here, and चलो blue से दिखा देते हैं deoxygenated blood. The deoxygenated blood comes here and goes to this. This is the pulmonary artery. Let me draw it neatly. थोड़ा जल्दबाजी के चक्कर में से बना दिया. अच्छा बना देते हैं. चलिए लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, राइट हैंड साइड को हम ब्लू से ही बना देते हैं. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को and this is the septum dividing the two chambers. Okay, and here is the tricuspid wall, and here is the bicuspid wall. Okay, so now what you see, that is the oxygenated blood from all over both the lungs comes here. From here it goes to ventricles, and from ventricles it comes into aorta. And when it comes, a lot of blood comes together. So as a result, what happens? The arteries are narrow. So what happens? The artery swells. Okay? And when it relaxes, then there is less blood, then more blood, then less blood, then more blood, then less blood. So what you see, if you put your finger on any of the artery, you will feel a twitch. Okay? The arteries are swelled and then they reduce their volume. So this is because more blood is pumped together and then less blood. More blood, less blood. More blood or rather no blood. हम तो कह देंगे यहाँ पे blood है ही नहीं, but वो blood will always maintain their pressure, so थोड़ा बहुत blood आ जाएगा. So there is a twitch, and this twitch is called pulse. And in this case, what happened? There are a lot of pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of arteries, and that is why we have studied in the previous video. I said the walls of the arteries are highly elastic, so that they can bear this much of pressure. So when the blood comes with the pressure, the arteries swells. When the pressure is released, the arteries compresses. So ये चलता रहेगा, ठीक है. So when more blood is coming, it is exerting a pressure on the wall. This is known as blood pressure. So देखिए क्या लिखा है? It is the pressure applied by the walls of blood on the walls of arteries. Pressure applied by the blood on the walls of artery is called blood pressure. Now it has two values, ठीक है. एक क्या है? Systolic blood pressure और एक है diastolic. When there is a contraction in the ventricle, there is more blood, so greater pressure is applied by the artery, the blood on the arteries. This is called systolic blood pressure, and its value for a normal healthy person at rest is 120 millimeter of mercury level when it is measured by Sygmomanometer. ठीक है, तो systolic blood pressure आ गया आपको समझ में. On the other hand, when there is less pressure, when there is less blood, so pressure exerted is less, so that is called diastolic blood pressure. For healthy person, its value is 80 mm of Hg. You must remember these two pressure, or the blood pressure is always measured when a person is on rest. वो भाग रहा दौड़ रहा नहीं है, वो किसी चिंता में नहीं है. He is not worried about anything. He is not under tension. He is not running. He is not having any type of fever. मेजर तो हम इसलिए करते हैं to know about fever and all, because if it is he or she is suffering from some fever, the blood pressure will be varying. तो देखते हैं क्या लिखा है. तो it has two values. Systolic blood pressure, it is due to contraction of the ventricles and bulk of blood is pumped into the aorta. It applies greater pressure on the walls, and the value is 120 millimeter of mercury when measured by Sygmomanometer, a device you might have seen doctors measuring blood pressure. On the other hand, when the ventricles contracts, there is very less blood is there on the arteries, so उसकी value कम हो जाती है. So that is called diastolic blood pressure. Its value is it is due to the relaxation of the ventricle and there is less blood in the aorta. Hence, the blood apply less pressure on the walls, and its value is 80 mm of Hg when measured by Sygmomanometer. Sygmomanometer you might have seen doctor using either in movies or whenever you must have gone to sometime to hospital, either yours or your parents, or with whichever elder person you must have gone to the doctor. You might have seen doctor wrap a certain cloth like thing here. It is not a cloth, but it is a air bag, in which the air can be filled. So it has self-sticking substance, so that sticks. And then doctor applies a pressure, fills air. So when the air is filled, what happens? This bag expands and it applies pressure on the muscles. So the muscles are contracted. Now in the yesterday's video we have studied the arteries are found deep in the muscles. So when the muscles are compressed, the arteries can be blocked. When the arteries are blocked, if you put your finger here, you will not find any pulsation. Arteries are blocked, so now how blood will come? And when there is no blood coming here, you will not find any pulsation. So doctor generally fill air up to 180 or 170, 150 depending on your age, and then he feels here there is no pulsation. He ensures there is no pulsation. Then slowly he opens the valves and he put his finger here, and when he noticed the first pulse here, that means this is the time when the pressure of systolic blood pressure is just equal to the pressure exerted by the external bags. Okay, when the two pressure equals, or rather the external pressure decreases and the internal pressure increases, that is the time we hear first sound or first pulse. That is the value, that is systolic blood pressure. And when keep on releasing, and then second pulse can also be felt, that is the value. So normal person during rest, the value of blood pressure, systolic is 120 millimeter of mercury level and diastolic is 80 millimeter of mercury level. So this is all about blood pressure. Blood pressure is very important phenomena, because if the blood pressure goes high and if it continuously remain high for certain person, normal case में high हो सकता है when you are running, when you are exerting some pressure, or when you are overthinking or something, but it is for a short while. As you come to rest, it will be okay. So that is okay. But if without any reason, if it goes on remain high value, then it is called hypertension. Okay? So hypertension is a defect. Hypertension is defect. Now why it is called a defect? Because if arteries are blood is continuously applying pressure, greater pressure on the walls of arteries. So there are thin arteries which are found in the blood, which are found in the brain, which are found in the other parts. And if more pressure is exerted, these arteries may rupture and sometimes internal bleeding take place, and the person may die because of the leakage or because of the bleeding which is taking place inside. The second is pulse. Just now I said the heart is not continuously supplying blood, but it is supplying in packets. So when each time ventricle contracts, more blood is there. Ventricle relaxes, less blood is there. More blood, less blood, more blood, less blood. So that pulse you can feel here. So this is the rhythmic contraction and relaxation felt on the walls of arteries called pulse. Pulse gives the idea that how many times your heart is beating in a minute. Okay? Blood clotting. Now we know that the blood has an internal phenomena to maintain its volume. In case of bleeding, in case of you got hurt, wounded, and the blood continually oozes out from the body. So we know that an adult man should have blood somewhere between 5 to 5.5 liter, and even if decreases by 50 milliliter, the blood pressure will fall, and then blood efficiency will decrease in the supply. So it has to be maintained. So that is why body has its own phenomena, internal phenomena to maintain blood pressure. Okay? So on the bleeding, the platelet rupture and lead to a series of changes, finally form a insoluble fibers. तो देखते हैं यहाँ पे इसके स्टेप्स यहाँ देखते हैं क्या हो रहा है. देखिए, दिस आर द सपोज सम bleeding is taking place. यहाँ पर कट लग गया. So now platelets will come out. The platelets will rupture and they will release a substance called prothrombin. In the presence of calcium ion and vitamin K, prothrombin change into thrombin. Thrombin converts fibrinogen, which is a soluble protein found in the blood, in the plasma, into insoluble protein, that is fibrin. Fibrins तो ऐसे thread like structure है. So ये thread जो होते हैं वो wound को cover कर लेंगे. The threads will cover the wounds, fibrin threads. They will cover the wounds like this. So now RBC which are big, they will get trapped into it and they will clog this and they will not let the blood to flow out. So this is called blood clotting. And for a few minutes you will find plasma coming out, and after that the plasma will also stop. Okay? So blood clotting is an internal factor to prevent the cell. याद रखिए, whenever bleeding take place, platelets breaks, rupture of platelets, they lead to release of prothrombin. Prothrombin converted into thrombin in the presence of calcium and vitamin K. Thrombin converts the insoluble protein into soluble protein into insoluble fibrin, and the insoluble protein will form a network on the cut place, and it will prevent the further leading of bleeding. Okay, lymph. Now what happens? See, if the blood is continuously flowing between the arteries and the veins, तो बॉडी को तो मिलेगा ही नहीं कुछ. हम अभी तक बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे थे, that is the blood transport oxygen, brings carbon dioxide, gives nutrient, brings waste, gives hormones, brings heat, this and that. But if the blood is continually in the tap, it is something like that, a pipeline is going in front of my house, but I have not taken connection. How water will or the oil or whatever thing is pipeline is taking, how I'll get that? Suppose a train passing from our station and it is not stopping, or if even if it stops, the gates does not open, then how the passenger will get down or new passenger will board in? So there should be some way by which these exchanges take place. So suppose such thick is the artery, such thick is the vein, and there are thin capillaries in between. So capillaries are forming a network at around each and every organ. So these are the capillaries. My finger you consider as capillaries. So thick walls of arteries can bear the high pressure of blood. They will not let the blood to ooze out. But when it comes into the thin wall of capillaries, where the thickness is only 1 cell thick, so the blood cannot be withheld by the capillaries. So many a substance can easily ooze out from the walls of capillaries. What are some such substances come out? That is the plasma and the dissolved substance in the plasma, and even the WBC, because they are amoeboid, so they can form pseudopodia and they can come out. Okay, so these are the things which will come out, and if it is continuously going on, so within no time our blood will dry. So that is why it is necessary that to collect back all these filters from the tissues and open it back into the heart. So that system which is collecting this type of secretions from blood capillaries at the tissues and opening it back into the heart is called lymphatic system. So lymph is nothing but it is the blood which is filtered out at the capillaries, and it does not contain RBC, because RBCs are big enough, they cannot come out through the walls of arteries, capillaries, and even certain proteins which are large enough, they cannot come out through the walls of capillaries. So what thing can come out? That is the water, that is the plasma has got water, plus dissolved substances like oxygen gas is there, then hormones are there, then nutrients are there like glucose, amino acid, fatty acids, certain other factors are there, they will come out. Okay, and ultimately whatever it is used by the tissue, that will be used, otherwise remaining it will all come back into the heart. Okay, so okay, it is the blood without RBC and protein filtered at the tissues at the level by the tissue level to form from the thin walls of the blood capillaries due to high pressure of blood. The lymph which goes between the tissues does not not the blood. So whatever function which we have studied about the blood is not actually a function of blood, but it is the function of lymph. ठीक है, functions of lymph, आखिर काम क्या करता है lymph क्या क्या काम करता है? देखिए, it provide fluid medium to all the tissues. See, all the living tissue require fluid medium, and who will provide fluid medium? So it is the blood, the fluid which is filtered from the blood into the tissues, that is lymph, that is providing fluid medium. Secondly, it helps in the exchange of gases, क्योंकि the walls of capillaries, चलो ऑक्सीजन तो निकल जाएगा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड will also come, but the other nutrients will not come. So they are helping in the exchange of gases, they are helping in providing nutrients to the tissues, they are collecting the waste back from there, and they are also removing the heat from the tissues, and they are also providing immunity, because WBCs can filter out, WBCs can ooze out. Okay, so they also provide immunity. If foreign body enters anywhere from the wounds, suppose I got a cut over here, so foreign body bacteria can get into it, so that bacteria can also be killed by these WBCs. Okay, you might have seen that whenever there is any bleeding take place, ये तो bleeding का part है, छोड़िए. So blood clotting we already studied. So this is the function of blood clotting, how it happens whenever blood bleeding take place. So prothrombin convert into thrombin in the with the enzyme called thrombinase, and the thrombin convert the soluble fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin, which forms a network and prevent the blood flow. ठीक है, सो ये दोबारा से इसको समझा दिया यहाँ पर. ठीक है, कैसा हो रहा है देखिए. क्लोटिंग फैक्टर converting prothrombin into thrombin, thrombin is converting fibrinogen into fibrin, and fibrin is choking the or blocking the bleeding place and letting the RBC get stuck here and prevent the bleeding. Okay, so that's all in this video. I think things are clear. So if you got still any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise तो ठीक है, जैसा चल रहा है ठीक है. मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि किसी को कुछ चीज़ समझ नहीं आ रही तो पूछे. एंड एजुकेशन शुड बी फ्री. वाई certain people only get education and others should not. ठीक है. एंड चलिए ठीक है. If you got any doubt, you can ask me. And if you like, you press the like button. If you don't like, write something. And